Hello everybody, UFC Wildcat here,
And I'm Powder Blue Bolts.
and this week we're going to be tackling the Autozone Liberty Bowl between the Iowa State Cyclones and the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes. Fun fact about this one, you actually figured this out while we were studying this up. These teams have played before.
It didn't take that much. I didn't figure it out. I just happened to see they played in the opener.
You dug through cabinets and cabinets of files.
Footage. I was up late nights just looking through just years on the record books.
Studying the hell out of this game.
They played. Literally, I clicked a link and it was the first thing I saw. And I was like, oh, they played each other. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, and the game actually ended in an Iowa State win. 38-23
at Iowa State. So I mean, it was a decently competitive game. Tulsa's quarterback did throw 2 picks, and I don't know. Iowa State's a pretty middle of the road team, kind of being a bottom feeder of the Big 12 for the past couple of years. Did have that really big win against Oklahoma State when they were ranked really high, but other than that, I mean, Iowa State doesn't really stick out to me that much. And Tulsa's had a really, really good year. They went 10-3. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, and by 10-3, close losses to SMU losing by 8, losing to Arkansas by 4, and you take out the Iowa State loss. So let's say they have that loss. They could possibly have been 12-1.
Yeah, I mean, they're a really, really good team. And I don't know. I see this being a really, really competitive game. Tulsa, being one of those non-AQ schools.
Let me put it to you this way. By competitive, we think the game's going to be close. By good, we don't think the game's going to be that good.
Yeah, I mean, this is another one of those, it's a bowl, we have to talk about it. It's not really that too exciting unless you're an Iowa State or a Tulsa fan.
But hey, we've only got 2 more games like this, though.
Yeah, and then the rest are, really, really good games that a toss-up. I mean, yeah, really, really good schools going to go basic.
So definitely, shameless plug right here. Definitely subscribe. We got a bunch of videos coming out. It's going to be good. But back to this game, give us some key players for Iowa State.
Yeah, their quarterback, Steele Jantz. He's had 1,500 yards on the season, 13 touchdowns. But he almost has as much interceptions as he does touchdowns, and he has 11 picks on the year. So they don't throw the ball too often, but, he is really good, and he can actually carry them pretty well. He had 381 yards against Baylor, which, I could probably have 381 yards against that Baylor defense.
Oh, really? You want to tell UCLA that?
Yeah, that's true. Congratulations to the Baylor Bears for a huge win over UCLA. It was way, way more of a blowout than I thought it would be. But
yep.
Going back to Iowa State, another one of their key players who would be a key player if he was in the game, but he's actually not in the game, is their 3-time All-Big 12 linebacker and captain of the team, Jake Knott. He's actually recovering from shoulder surgery, so he will not be in the game, and that's huge for Iowa State.
That is a huge loss, because, that's like taking a quarterback away from a team. That is the leader on a defense. Usually the linebacker position's calling out all the signals and everything. But, yeah, hopefully they can recover from that. Iowa State's lost a key component on their defense at least, and they're going to need it because Tulsa, run. That's all they do. They're 11th in the nation in rushing with 240 yards a game, and they have 3. Not like, we have a scat back and our power back. They have 3 capable running backs who all have, they at least have 750 yards. Alex Singleton, who's the touchdown maker, he's got 765 yards and 21 touchdowns. They got Jatarian Douglas, who has 857 yards, and he has 7 touchdowns. But then they also have a dude who gets the yardage. His name's Trey Watts. He has 959 yards and only 3 touchdowns. But they also have a quarterback and a few good wide receivers. They've got Cody Green, who is the quarterback. He almost has 2,500 yards on the season, 17 touchdowns, but does have 10 interceptions. So again, that's kind of a glaring thing. But when you... Oh, excuse me. Woo! That happening. But Cody Green has had 9 of his 20 total touchdowns, 3 rushing, 17 throwing touchdowns. He's had 9 of those touchdowns in the last 4 games, which is very promising.
Yeah, they're going into this game on a streak pretty much, and going into this game with high hopes after that really, really thrilling win over UCF in the Conference USA title game.
Yeah, that was some crazy stuff right there with that awkward punt return, which gave them a lot of spark and definitely took the wind out of the sails of the UCF Golden Knights.
Yeah, I mean, and you look at a team like Iowa State, like I said, they've been kind of a bottom feeder in the Big 12. They actually finished second to last in the Big 12. So, I mean, the fact that they're even going bowling is kind of a miracle. I mean, they they beat Tulsa in the opener. They go to Iowa, win 9-6. They blow out Western Illinois. They lose to Texas Tech. They do have some key wins. They did win at TCU 37-23, but then they get beat by Kansas State. But they only lost by 6. Get blown out by Oklahoma State. Actually did win against Baylor 35-21. Held that high scoring number 1 offense to only 21 points. So that's a high mark for their defense. Then they have 2 straight losses, beat Kansas, and then they lose to West Virginia. So it's been kind of an up and down season for the Cyclones. Like I said, they did finish second to last in the Big 12 Conference, which has been very, very competitive this year. But I don't know. I don't really see Iowa State beating Tulsa because Tulsa has such a good offense and such a good rushing attack and a decent defense. And Iowa State's just kind of middle of the road everywhere. Nothing really sticks out. So I'm predicting Tulsa to win, but, it's bowl season. Anything can happen.
All right, so I think a key to the game for Tulsa is, again, feed those 3 hungry running backs because they're going to need it. You need to feed them, feed them, feed them, feed them. They want to run the ball. They want to score. You got to give it to your touchdown maker, Alex Singleton. You got to get it to your big play running back, Trey Watts, and maybe, do some cleanup duty with Jatarian Douglas. So, yeah, let's see if they can feed their running backs and get some big plays. What does Iowa State need to do?
I think in the absence of Jake Knott, their 3-time All Big 12 linebacker, the leader of their defense, this Iowa State defense just has to play well in his absence and has to stop those 3 running backs and the front 7 especially have to really, really, really play well. And unless they do that, I don't really see Iowa State winning. But, like I said, anything can happen.
What's your prediction for the game, though?
I don't know. As far as a score, I think it's going to be a pretty low-scoring game. I'm going to say Tulsa's going to win pretty handedly. I'm going to say 34-21. But there's going to be at least one defensive score.
We need to quit doing that. We've done that for a few of them.
And it's happened.
Oh, okay, just because it happened the first time doesn't mean every
It'll
time I say
happen
it.
every time I say it.
I'm going to shock everybody. I'm going to say Iowa State wins this game.
What?
There's some familiarity. It wasn't a fluke that Iowa State won in the beginning of the year. If I look at Tulsa's schedule right now, they only beat Fresno State by 1. They only beat UAB by 7. They only beat Marshall by 7. They only beat Rice by 4. Again, they had their close losses, but they easily could have lost to UCF twice, considering they go to the conference championship. So, when I think about it, I don't think Tulsa is really, that good. They have a good offense, but I don't know. I don't think they're going to win this game. I'm going to say Iowa State wins in a thriller, 31-28 with a late field goal.
Wow. Bold. I like it, though.
Yep. Alrighty, well, tune in for the next one. This is the first of the best bowls.
Awesome bowl.
This is a great bowl, the Chick-fil-A Bowl between LSU and Clemson, the battle for the real Death Valley.
Tiger on Tiger, Death Valley on Death Valley. It's going to be a good one.
Let's go, buddy. Alrighty. UFC Wildcat and Powder Blue Bolts signing out.